like to welcome everyone to the East Chicago School Board business for Thursday, February 28th, 2013 at East Chicago Central High School. Agenda item A, we're going to go through roll call first. Madam Secretary, please present roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
I couldn't hear anything. I'd like to have those monitors in the front because I can't hear anything.
Testing.
Okay, what are we doing, a roll call for the call order?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Present.
Trustee Hill.
Here.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez. Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry, it's a little bit backwards. We're going to ask for stand for a pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get to the agenda items, I'd like to make a notation here that under letter F, business, we're going to remove item number 4, which is a recommendation for approval of a memorandum of understanding with the Carnegie Arts Center and East Chicago Central High School. I'm going to ask for adoption of the agenda. And before we do that, I'd like to ask for removal of other items. Under D, item number 3, claim docket. The following claims are to be removed from the docket prior to approval. Claim number 44158 on page 5. Claim 44162 on page 25. Claim 2105-42722 and 210595-9962 on page 32. Claim number 44829 and 44830 on page 34. Claim 44893 and 44894. Also 44898, 44900, 44901, 44902, and 44903 on pages 36 and 49. Claim 44911 on page 36. Claim 44922 and 44923. 44924, 44925, and 44926 on page 37. Claim 44929 on page 37. Claim 44986 and 44987 on page 38. Claim 44997 on page 39. Claim 44798 on page 40.
Excuse me, Mr. President, did we mention page 45?
Sorry, what was that? Trustee Hill?
Mr. President, did you mention page 45?
No, I don't have that.
Yes.
What was that claim docket?
It's, it doesn't have a claim document. Let me see.
Claim number?
42722 on page 32. 32 is, I'm sorry, 32 is 42722.
I already mentioned
Got
that.
that one. Page 45 is... Bear with me. It's, excuse me, 42722 once again, on page 45.
Excuse me, the number again?
42722 on page 45.
I've mentioned that on page 32. We'll move ahead with the agenda. Minutes for the regular board meeting of January 29, 2013. I'd like the motion to approve those minutes.
I motion.
A second.
Motion moved by trustee Perez, seconded by trustee Monroe. Questions? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos. Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item is distribution of payroll. Motion to accept it.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the distribution of payroll.
I second.
Motion by trustee Rivera to accept it, seconded by trustee Morris. Questions? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item, 3, claim docket. The claim docket, I'm asking for approval of the claim docket minus the items that were pulled from the
As amended,
docket.
Mr. Chairman.
As amended?
However, I don't have, I have a couple of them. I don't know if we got that one. On page 49, claim 44892. Do you have that? NMB and Company. Also,
Trustee Hill, which one was that one again? 44892.
What page was it on?
it's on, excuse me, on page 49. 44892.
Is there a motion to approve the amended claim docket?
Mr. President,
Trustee Rodriguez?
I'll make a motion to approve the claim docket as amended.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion by trustee Rodriguez, seconded by trustee Hill. Questions? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Item 4, personnel report. Is there a motion to accept it? Is there a motion to accept the personnel report?
Yes, I motion to accept.
I second.
Motion by trustee Perez, seconded by trustee Ramos. Questions? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Hill?
Yes.
Trustee Winfield?
Yes.
Trustee Morris?
Yes.
Trustee Monroe?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Ramos?
Yes.
Chairman Gomez?
Yes. Next item is communications, announcements, and recognitions from the superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. We have a few. I placed before you this evening the results of our district spelling bee champions and alternates. The individuals participated that moved on from the individual schools to the Lake County, Porter County Spelling Bee that took place on February 16th. We're happy to announce that was also covered in the paper that Janiyah Bates, a student at Franklin, placed high enough to advance on to the state competition. So she'll be representing School City of Chicago. The other winners and alternates at Franklin, Chantel Garcia; at Washington, Leara Dickens, Isaac English; at McKinley, Ashley Patrick and Karen Gonzalez; at Lincoln, Dakari Moore, Jashawn Taylor; Carrie Gosh, Quinana Smith, Destiny Thurman, and Harrison Daisy Castaneda, and Pedro Corral. So we wish her well. We'll bring you back the results. Hopefully, if you saw the look on her face when she was struggling with that word in the paper, you know those words are tough. So hate to go back and spell myself. Also happy to announce that Sodexo, our food service partner, has reestablished excuse me, for us program that was started a couple years ago to deal with some hunger issues with some of our students and families on the weekends. So they are providing a free service to a number of our students and families called the Backpack Program, where every Friday evening they will stuff backpacks of students in a discreet manner for those who may not be getting the right nutrition and nourishment at home over the weekend. And so they're making sure that at least that child and that family is covered during that time. And they've done this for 3 years now. The program continues to grow as the need for our program continues to grow. So we appreciate their continued support. Again, they're your existing partner here in Sodexo providing food services. This is an extra thing they do to help meet some of our outside of school needs for kids and families. Also like to pass on to you that each year the Indiana State Police is mandated to conduct bus inspections twice a year for all school districts in Indiana that are busing students. Mr. Garcia, Director of Transportation, reported that at the semi-annual inspection this year that all of our buses passed. And so good news for everyone that buses are well maintained, they're safe, and they're up to speed with all the things that they need. And I know there was a concern about cameras and videos, and we're working on that, and hopefully we can get that addressed as we move into next year in the budget. I'd also like to thank the United States Hispanic Leadership Institute for their work, and Mr. Gomez, and for providing 2 speakers to Block Middle School and Central High School. Dr. Chandra Gill spoke in this auditorium to students 9 through 12, February 13th, and Jimmy Cabrera was over at Block Middle School. We were able to tape those. Tapes will be provided to you hopefully tomorrow in your informational packet, or video, so that you can see the speeches in case you missed it. But outstanding speakers, great comments from the staff and students, and we'll hopefully have a chance to have them back again at a later point in time. That's all I have, Mr. Gomez. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Harding. The next item of business is F, business. And before we go into that, I'd like to make a note. We're going to remove item number 1, recommendation for approval of professional development request. Tomorrow, Poll Early Childhood Special Ed Coordinators Conference, March 11th and 12th, 2013. With that removal, I'd like to ask for approval of the recommendation for professional development request as amended. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation?
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Hill, seconded by Trustee Winfield. Questions? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
No.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
No.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item, item 2, recommendation for approval of 2013-2014 School City v. Chicago billboard renewal. Motion to accept that.
I make a motion of that.
Motion by Trustee Morris.
Mr. Chairman, discussion?
Yes,
I need
discussion.
a second first.
Okay, second. I second.
Second by Trustee Hill. Questions?
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Ms. Laura?
Was there any conversation about the developmental request for professional development? There was no conversation. I didn't hear it.
Excuse
In
me,
the
I'm-
future, can we make sure that our mics are working properly?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can't hear you, Mr. President. It's going in and out, and I'm missing things, and I'm uncomfortable when I miss things.
Just for the audience knowledge, these are new mics we're trying out, so apologize. I believe Trustee Hill has the floor.
It's very...
Good evening, Ms. Laura. How are you today?
Good evening.
Yes, I was just looking over that. I know we have a couple billboards here on Columbus Drive. I just want to know which one is our board.
It's the one that's facing towards Central High School. It's near the warehouse, kind of catty corner from the administration building.
Okay, and how often is that board updated?
We are allowed to update it throughout the year. This contract allows us to update it, I believe, 6 to 8 times, but I'd have to double check on that.
Okay, and will we get the information to put on the board?
Different events within the district. We survey the district. Some of the examples are announcing registration, food programs, summer programs, activities throughout the school year, just to remind the community and the students and parents of different activities that they should inquire and attend on.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item, recommendation for approval of donation from Plato to Central High School.
I motion to accept.
Motion by Trustee Perez,
Second.
second by Trustee Winfield. Questions?
Yes, I have questions.
Yes, Trustee Rivera?
It's more a remark than anything else. It's good to see that we're having some donations coming from Plato. $150 is a nice gift certificate, but I'm more inclined for about $1,000 if they can ever get to that point, because they make a lot of money.
Any other questions? Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item is public forum. Before we start the public forum, I'd like to ask Attorney Lesniak to once again go through the rules of the engagement for the public.
Yeah, Mr. President, thank you. Before I get to the public forum, let me explain for our patrons some of the procedural things that happened today. The board removed a number of items from the agenda today. That does not mean that they have disapproved of those. All it means is that they have questions about those, and the administration has not had time to gather the information to get back to the board with the response to their questions. Those items will be addressed with the discussion by the board and the administration and their questions about those items at a work session, which is a public meeting of the board, which will be announced shortly. The public forum section is the patrons' opportunity to express their comments and express their concerns to the board. The rules are that you must sign up, and those that have signed up are allowed 3 minutes to make their comments and express their concerns. There should be and will be not allowed any personal attacks on any individuals. I would note that it is not a question and answer period between the patrons and the board or the administration. It's time for you to make your comments and express your concerns. Any questions and concerns that you have, notes are being taken. They will be referred to the proper administrators, and responses will be timely made to you. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm going to ask Trustee Winfield again to do the roll call. I would also add to Attorney Lesniak's comments that we're not going to tolerate any discussion on personnel issues. Those should be taken up in private. Trustee Winfield, Trustee Hill, we monitor the clock?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
We also ask that you state your name and address before you start into your conversation. First on the podium is Carl Darling, Jr.
Hi, greetings, the Chicago School Board. Carl Darling, residing at 4720 Ivy Street here in East Chicago. The reason I came here tonight because I was here 7 weeks ago where I congratulated this board and hoped them good luck. At that time, I went specifically to the item about students that are troublesome. I want you to know, as a bailiff in the East Chicago City Court for 19 years, I went to the Honorable Judge Delma Ray Williams and suggested a program to her. Because when I had parents come to me and ask me what they should do, I went to the judge. I said, Judge, why don't we bring these young people into the courtroom to see the way courts were run? The system or the idea was very successful, and I'm only suggesting that maybe it could be used here to where if you have a problem, not really a problem, young people, things come up, but it was successful in the capacity to whereas they learned a lot and they were good. So that's why I came here today, to add that to what I was talking about, because I ran out of time. And before I run out of time, thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carl Lewis Darling.
Good evening, Board. Not to be confused with my father, I'm a little taller, better looking one of the family. First of all, I just want to congratulate you on your representation of the city of East Chicago. I see a lot of friendly faces. A lot of you know me. I've been with the city in many different phases.
Excuse me.
With the legal department for 5 years.
Can you state your address, please?
I'm sorry?
Your address.
Oh, yes. 4720 Ivy, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. I've been with the city in many phases. I was with Carmen Fernandez for 5 years in the legal department, and also was with the controller's department and other features of this town of ours. I heard that this is a very fair and equitable board, and I hope that comes true. I'm glad to see that there is finally an elected board where there is someone to answer to, and I hope that everybody takes their responsibility to the utmost, because it is a very important responsibility, and there are very important matters happening in the city, not only outside of academic education, but in the city itself. Like my father just stated, I wanted to sell for possible future meetings, and basically to say congratulations and look forward to possibly dealings in the future with you. And again, have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Emily Pacheri.
Good evening. My name is Emily Pancheri. I'm one of the teachers at Franklin Academy. By now, most of the board knows who I am. And more importantly, I'm guessing you guys probably know why I'm here.
Can we have your address, please?
Yes. It's 2137 West 172 Lane, Lowell, Indiana. If you are tired of seeing me, I'm tired of being ignored. This will now be my third time speaking in front of the school board, and as of right now, nothing has been done to correct my situation. On Monday, February 25th, all teachers in the district were finally given their contracts for the 2012-2013 school year. The school city went to a painstaking length to phrase my contract. It stated that my employment began on October 10th, 2012. As per our agreement when I settled with the school, this was retroactive to my hire date of August 17th, 2009. The contract also states my salary is supposed to be at $28,659. This is still in violation of my agreement. I am supposed to be at a fourth-year teacher salary. What has happened to me over the last few years has been nothing short of bullying. And I thought that the school city had a zero tolerance for bullies. I will not stand down. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be signing this contract because that would admit in writing that they are right. And I have an agreement that states otherwise. I unfortunately also have to tell you that I have spoken with a lawyer. He advised me to go to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commissions and to the National Labor Relations Board. This could have been avoided had the administrators in the top office done what they were supposed to do and what they promised to me in writing. I am a history teacher. I am in an elementary setting. This is still despite the history opening, and my efforts to be transferred to the proper setting have been ignored. This cannot and should not go on. I refuse to lose my job after this administration has continued to mess things up for me time after time. They have left me no choice. The people of East Chicago deserve to see me as their history teacher. The parents, the students, everyone deserves to see me as their history teacher. That is what I am licensed to do. Nothing less. But what has gone on cannot go on. And I refuse to let it go on. And I'm asking you for help. Because this administration should put their heads down in shame over what they have done to me and over what they have continued to do by ignoring me. I thank the board for their time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ernestine Jackson. Ernestine Jackson. Okay. Bert Flores.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board.
Good evening.
My name is Bert Flores. I'm the president of the Concerned Citizens of East Chicago, and I reside at 4842 Lagoon Avenue. We believe it is the responsibility of our school board not only to oversee our schools, but also to meet the needs of our children. You know that this city is made up of about 50% Hispanic, yet the needs of our Hispanic students are not being met. I am sure you're aware that we are losing students to charter, Whiting, and Hammond schools. And most of them leaving happen to be Hispanic students. Parents are not happy with the lack of accommodations made for their children or families. It doesn't make sense that the school with over 50% or over 70% Hispanic population do not have Spanish-speaking support staff to not only communicate with the students, but also with the parents. We don't want a Spanish-speaking translator who knows nothing about the people she is servicing and doesn't relate to the community. We want Spanish-speaking social workers, guidance counselors, school nurses, speech therapists, occupational therapists, and any other support staff that can relate and communicate with our students and their families. The fact that these language and cultural needs were not and are not considered is just another example of the decisions made by these top administrators. It demonstrates their serious disconnect from our community. Please do not allow these blunders to continue. These issues need to be fixed immediately. The people that the superintendent brought to our school district have not and do not have the best interest of our East Chicago school children at heart. We want credible, upstanding people who have a strong relationship and connect with the community and truly care about meeting the needs of our children. The community continues to ask that you do not renew the contracts of all of these administrators who have shown and continue to show that they do not have the best interest of our kids. The community is sick and tired of these people only here for their own personal gain. Remember the saying, actions speak louder than words. Well, we haven't seen much action that leads to the best interest of our children. There is a big difference between saying it for the best interest of our children and doing it for the best of our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. John Zalingo.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. My name is John Zarlango. I'm a school social worker at Central High School and president of the East Chicago Federation of Teachers, AFT 511. The East Chicago Federation of Teachers appreciates the board's assistance in resolving the matter of 2 teachers who were reinstated to full-time status, and we also appreciate that Ms. Stephanie Ramos will be a member of the insurance committee. There are serious concerns about insurance for employees of East Chicago, one of which is the ability to attract and maintain a highly motivated teaching force, as stated in the strategic plan. The changes in the insurance continue to bring morale to an all-time low, especially at a time when the top administrator pays $1 per year for insurance, and teachers are paying up to $425 per month for insurance. It is a matter of priorities, and the teaching force does not appear to be a top priority of this administration. In the interest of enhancing the excellence of education in East Chicago, we also request that the union have participation in the board committees. We believe that community members should also have a voice on these committees. This will bring transparency that has not been seen to this point. There are also multiple issues in the school city of East Chicago that teachers believe need to be addressed to improve the education of East Chicago. Bilingual programs, ESL, discipline, options such as in-school detentions, being able to provide an expanded alternative program for children that have extreme difficulty performing in the regular building, addressing the no-grade policy, decline in music, band, chorus, decline in CTE at the high school, the career tech education, just to name a few. We also, speaking of the high school, we had a highly qualified teacher who had expertise in utilizing all printing machinery, in addition to teaching children this trade, the printing trade, but was removed and replaced by highly paid staff from Michigan City. How does this happen? We request multiple work sessions with the board to address these issues, to urgently work at changing the educational climate in East Chicago. Time is of the essence also in the area of the foundations of East Chicago. We've been on suspension for 4 years. We've lost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in potential grants. And we ask that the board really look into this situation and the behavior of the administration in this matter. The children of East Chicago should never lose out and be treated in this way again. The Baldridge survey also has been at the superintendent's office for 2 months. We have not heard anything about the results. The climate survey is supposed to help us to have information to improve the climate of East Chicago. Why are we not getting this information? Is the administration too embarrassed about what would be presented with this survey? On behalf of the East Chicago Federation of Teachers Local AFT 511, we request the Board of School Trustees authorize Dr. Lowry of the Calumet College to release the results directly to the board and to the union so that we can be assured that the results will be used to make changes in the climate, which at this time is very, very bad here in the school city of East Chicago. Mr. President, thank you very much. And board, thank you very much for hearing my concerns on behalf of AFT 511.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Wayne Johnsby.
I got used to that in elementary school and middle school. They always used to say Wayne and then pause. I go, Johnsby. I'm Wayne Johnsby. My address is 2511 Walnut Lane in Hobart, Indiana. I'm science department chair at the high school. I'm also second vice president of the union. I come here, ladies and gentlemen on the board, to address one item, and that's called technology. Technology, as we all know, is a wonderful idea. It's a great aid in the classroom. However, technology I'm going to talk about today is the distractor. Cell phones, portable electronic devices, earbuds, we all as teachers strive to make our students the best. However, we got distractors. You know as well as I do, every day in the classroom is a challenge. When we try to teach from bell to bell, every minute in the classroom, we are not only concerned with issues of our students, but we're also concerned with materials and meeting our state standards. However, minutes are hacked in every classroom and every day, and I would say thousands of teaching minutes, because teachers have to focus on students that are texting, that have earbuds on during lectures, that have headphones on, that when you turn around or when you're helping another student, you look under a desk and there's a student texting. Put the phone away, please. How many times do we have to stop as teachers, not only in the high school, junior high, elementary? These students are not on task. I believe part of the problem was when we allowed the students to come into high school and during the passing periods to use their cell phones. Then what do we see? We see in a chronic habit of students coming late. Why? They've got to finish their texting. This is a distractor. I am not, and several of my teachers are not using every educational moment, at its peak, when we have to sit there and constantly fight with the student with their cell phone. Those of you that know in business, when the phone rings at a meeting, how disconcerting and interruptions happen like that, and now the message is now off because now we have to fight with them. I asked the school board to take a look at what other schools are doing to combat this issue. As we know, there is one to the south of us that recently had an unfortunate situation, but their policy was reviewed in the paper. The phones were out of sight from the time school started, 7:30, until the end of the day. If not, the cell phones could have been confiscated. I believe the way the article read, voice messages, SIM cards, everything could have been inspected. And I wish the school board would take a look at this because I want to get the best for our students. I want to make sure that I'm able to give them 100% of the classroom. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Reggie Tisdale.
There was conversation before.
Good evening, President Gomez, Vice President Hill, and members of the board. My name is Reggie Tisdale. I live at 48801 Walsh, East Chicago, Indiana. Kerry Geish Elementary teacher and the Working Conditions Chairman for the East Chicago Federation of Teachers. Again, as I have in the past, I applaud you for forming these committees. Again, remember, you have 372 prepaid consultants already paid. in teachers, social workers, and guidance counselors that are willing to work hard in these committees to fix the problems of East Chicago schools. November 29th, 2011, I had a good meeting with the superintendent. He listened to all my concerns about the different areas of the school city that I believe are undeveloped, and he replied that he did not disagree. He did not disagree. Well, that was over 18 months ago. And some of the areas of the school corporation are not only undeveloped, they're getting worse. They're absolutely getting worse. Now, I gave to you a flyer with the job posting that we have. There's the job opening for a senior grant writer. That's a very important position. And I just, I ask you to please make sure the proper person's hired for that position. That could mean millions, $20, $100 million to the corporation. For too long, we have grants that are simply just filled out. Their applications. A freshman student at Central can fill out these applications. Okay, we need a grant writer, a big-time elite grant writer that will go after the big dollars for our children. Not somebody's friend down the street that needs a job. Somebody who's elite in this area. And then secondly, I gave you some information about athletics. I greatly enjoyed watching our boys basketball team play last night at Gary Westside. Earl Smith did a great job organizing that. Those of you that know Earl, you may not realize he's a 1950 graduate of Gary Lou Wallace. Yet Earl has got the energy to organize something and take it to his school. For 3 years, we have no girls sectional, no boys sectional, no turkey shootout, no fundraising. It's deplorable. What would that happen in Valparaiso, Munster, or Chesterton after 8 months? What do you think would happen there? I know what would happen, and you do too. So, I just ask you to continue looking at those situations, and I've got many more concerns, but hopefully we can form those committees and we can talk about these things. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Juan Andrade.
Good evening. Juan Andrade, 4005 Elm Street here in East Chicago, Indiana. Not too long ago, Governor Pence was at the Genesis Center. I had an opportunity to be there. He talked about education as part of his platform. He talked about how he was going to return some of that money that Governor Daniels took from education when he was in office. So he's putting back to public education, which is good. But he also talked about how he's looking to increase the number of vouchers, which is not good for public education. Because the more and more vouchers that are available for the public, for example, in East Chicago, that will give East Chicago parents more and more opportunities to take their children out of the East Chicago public school systems and put them in charter schools or alternative schools or in other schools. And that's not good for the East Chicago public school system. So my opinion is that charter schools do not do anything to improve the quality of education in the public schools. What it does do is it allows the parents to take the children out, creating less students within the public school system, and therefore I think the funding also follows them. Charter schools and alternative schools, as I indicated, do not do anything to improve the quality of education in the East Chicago public schools. What needs to be done is the East Chicago public schools need to be fixed. What does it take to make a public school system successful? Is the same thing that it takes to make. Let me turn this around. You know what it takes to make an alternative school or a charter school successful? The same thing it takes to make a public school successful. Nothing different. It's just a question of commitment and heart and dedication to provide the best quality of education within the schools that you are working with. So the public school system needs to wake up and do what they can to improve the quality of education. A quick reminder is that the National Education Association, the American Association of School Administrators, will be having their forum on improving education. It is a national forum. To get more information about this, you can contact leadership at hopefoundation.org, and this will be taking place on April the 12th and the 13th through the 13th at the Hilton Hotel in Crystal City outside of Washington, D.C. Also, on March the 20th at the Avalon Manor in Hobart, Indiana, there's going to be a Workforce Summit 2013, preparing tomorrow's workforce. And you know what it takes to prepare tomorrow's workforce? Is a good quality education. It's a good quality of education. It's a good quality of education. And so it's important that public education does what they need to do in order to improve the quality of education so that we can have and prepare good quality people for the workforce. Just real quickly, Eve Gomez and myself too, we have the only bilingual live radio talk program in Northwest Indiana. In the month of March, around every Saturday, we're going to have the National School Board Association, National Association of Superintendents, and the National Association.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda Randolph.
Good evening. My name is Linda Randolph. I reside at 4437 Aldrich Street. On behalf of the East Chicago Education Foundation, I would like to thank Mr. Harding for sending Ms. Drayton as your district representative to work with us. The mini grant initiative will close on March 8th, so we want to encourage principals to put that information back out so that teachers will have an opportunity to apply for funds to use for classroom projects. Also, the Teachers of Excellence dinner will be May 23rd at Block School. We're waiting to hear from the board regarding the cooperative relationship in terms of the food items, etc. Mr. Fernando Trevino and Mickey Lopez head that committee. We will be in touch. We would also like to come to one of the administrators' meetings to see if there's something different that the principals would like to do or see done as we select the Teacher of Excellence for each building. Finally, on behalf of the community in general, I am being inundated with phone calls regarding the school climate survey. I did contact Calumet College, and I was told that the district received the results in January. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Reverend Cheryl Rivera.
Good evening, Board. My name is Reverend Cheryl Rivera, and I'm Executive Director of Northwest Indiana Federation of Interfaith Organizations, 5246 Holman Avenue, Suite 307B in Hammond, Indiana. The first thing is that we are concerned about the transparency of the board meetings, and I was glad to hear the attorneys say that the items that were removed from the agenda, there would be further discussion. And this is not a criticism, but to encourage the board to be more transparent in whatever the actions are that you're taking so that the community is aware of what you are actually doing. The meetings are being run certainly in a very professional manner, going through the agenda items, but it is not clear what you are actually doing on behalf of the school city of East Chicago. Certainly you are elected as public officials, and we want to create and establish a very good working relationship, and we need to know what you're doing in order to do that. So we would encourage you to have more discussion about whatever the items are and the action items that you're taking on the agenda. We would also invite the board to join us. The Federation has embarked upon a project for parent and community engagement called the ECHO Project. We're actually going door to door to do grassroots organizing, to engage parents in the public school process. The Federation and the ECHO Project is committed to saving traditional public schools and stopping this real destruction of traditional public schools and stopping the for-profit corporations. We have an opportunity to stop that in East Chicago, and we need to be proactive and making sure that we are engaging parents and community so that we can get the best education possible for the dollars that we're spending here in the city. We would further submit to you in writing a request for a work session to further discuss our concerns regarding the administration and the superintendent of the school city of East Chicago, and to explore how you can be involved with us in engaging parents and community in the school business of the school city of Chicago. Finally, I would invite you and members of the community to join us on a legislative day, March 19th. We are taking parents and community to Indianapolis to address the issues and concerns around education and meeting with the legislators. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes. That concludes our meet. That concludes our meeting for this evening. Before we adjourn, the date and time of the next meeting is March 14th, 6 p.m. at McKinley School. I also want to make note that besides being American Heart Month, it's also Women's Month and Black History Month. I'd like to thank Superintendent Harding and the staff over at Block Junior High School for putting on the program, Central Choir, on February 21st.
Okay, I will never make a movie.
Motion to adjourn.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, may I make an announcement? Statement. First of all, I'd like to congratulate and thank everyone who spoke today, because you all adhered to the 3-minute rule. That's the first time this has happened since we've been on the board, and I'd like to commend you for that. Thank you.
Motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second. Second by Trustee Winfield. Roll call.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Winfield.
Yes.
Trustee Morris.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos.
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes.